Hello, my Jason, and welcome to our episode recap for episode 11 of Fate Carolina Prisma Illya 3. The episode is You Are Not Alone. And this episode is the whole entire battle encapsulated into 22 minutes. We have the end of the battle coming up in presumably the last episode of the series. And so for the big battle itself with Shiro leading the charge against Angelica and Julian, definitely it was a letdown episode here. The battle wasn't really impressive at all. I don't want to reference the manga too much, but referencing an anime episode. I don't remember what episode number it was, but it's the episode where Illya installs the Archer card for the first time, and she goes up against a Saber Alter in the effort to collect all the cards there. And so definitely that episode really encapsulated it presented really high expectations that the show could never deliver on after that, because that battle scene was fantastic. It was fantastic animation-wise, the frame rates, everything about that battle, the editing, the music, the intensity, especially the voice actors, the actresses at least, they presented a battle that was really high up there. The intensity of the voice actresses, including the Saber voice actress and the Illya voice actress, even Miyu, who's watching the sidelines, she is shocked, she is surprised. Obviously, through later context, we realize that Miyu is familiar with the class cards, and she is familiar with the install portion of the cards as well. She wasn't really aware that you can actually do that unless you're not one of the Ainsworths, but definitely in this context here in the battle, she was surprised by all this, and she presented us as the audience of why we should be surprised by this as well. Everything felt important, everything felt special through these moments. And in this battle here, in episode 11 of Thray, the 4th season of this series, nothing really felt special to me. Everything just felt bland. Even the music was very subdued and was very calming, and I felt that should be the opposite effect. We should have an intense battle between Shiro and Angelica, two characters who we will later find out, but these two characters have a lot of history together. They hinted at that as well, that Shiro knows a lot about Angelica's, battle tactics and such there, the moves that she uses. And so bringing out that intensity there would be a huge benefit towards that battle, because these two characters have a lot of history with each other, especially Shiro and Julian as well. Julian is the main antagonist, the reason why Shiro lost his sister, why those two were disconnected. And that reunion was fine. It was mostly presenting an awkward situation for Illya and the others. Everyone just calls him Oni-chan anyway, and so Shiro is basically everyone's Oni-chan. And then Illya, she just moves on to different battles here and there, and Kuro does jump in to the Shiro Angelica battle. So it's a really nice moment there. Wasn't really a lot of that connection there, especially with Kuro being the Emiya hero that she encapsulated with the Archer card that she does have. And definitely they work together to defeat Angelica. Angelica is pretty much cast off to the side after she loses the Gilgamesh card by being defeated by Shiro, and Kuro, even Beatrice, leaves her behind as the sword is falling down, which makes it even more a more sympathetic character for me, which is why I always sympathize with Angelica. Obviously she is a mean antagonist there. She's very cold and calculated as well, but still she gets cast off to the wayside. She's presumably one of the strongest warriors for the Ainsworths. Obviously Beatrice is very powerful as well, but Angelica is the leader, the forefront of the Ainsworths, other than the actual Ainsworths. And so it's pretty sympathetic there that she just be cast off to the wayside after losing just one battle. And we had two new character introductions, sort of a half introduction for Miyu there, but a Berserker Sakura does come up. It's basically a Berserker Sakura and also a Yandere Sakura as well. She jumps in to save Julian, and Julian does manipulate her as well. And so definitely she had a lot of senpais in there, very sadistic sort of laugh as well. And so just presented very awkward shots here and there, because the proportional shots, if you had a wide shot of Sakura attacking Shiro, that looked really cool, but the close-ups were really off to me, at least in terms of visual aspects. So that's really distracting there. Miyu does try to jump in to try to save Shiro. She uses the Gilgamesh card, which disconnects her from Sapphire, and so I guess the Gilgamesh card is a card that has its own sort of persona, and as Gilgamesh, the Shota Gil does call it, he calls it his other half, and he is able to retrieve his other half before Miyu can be fully controlled by the Gilgamesh card. And so we had minor, at least like 3 or 5 minutes of Miyu Gilgamesh, Miyu Mesh, whatever you want to call her, there. But Gilgamesh is reunited. He's whole once again. But this is where he presents himself as an anti-hero. He isn't really on Ilya's side at all, but he is also on his side. He's up to his own benefits. He sort of uncovers what they're trying to do. Erica in that black goo, or whatever you want to call it there. She's up to her transformation of whatever that's going to be. Won't reveal that's what's going to happen there, depending on what they do in episode 12, because there is a minor changes here and there compared to the manga and what they do in the anime right now. So I'm curious to see how they present a few things in the next episode. So I won't really reveal too much just yet. But Gilgamesh does pretty much take a back seat just to watch what will happen. And what is happening is that Illya and Kuro are being surrounded by all the noble, all the heroic spirits, and Rin does make a save for Shiro. Very cool moment there with Bazette, Uvia, and Rin working together to try to save Shiro as he's falling down from the sword. And Rin can only do her best to save Shiro, try to heal him the best as she can. As she does say, she's not really great at healing magic, but we had a really nice geek out mode for me. I always geek out during these Saber King Arthur moments when Illya preps up Excalibur. She's charging the sword up, and we had a very small moments of intensity. I really wanted on this episode here. Kuro, she uses Ro Ayas to sort of defend Illya as she can charge up for her ultimate attack for Excalibur, and we see when she looks back onto Illya, she has this intense look on her face. That's what I really wanted throughout this whole entire episode here. We did not really get that, only got it here for a very few amount of moments and a few amount of characters, and that's when Illya does have that resolve within herself, that when she does realize that, hey, I said that I was going to save Miyu and the world, and this is my chance to do that, and she charges up Excalibur. She does the whole Excalibur, the call sign there, and we'll probably see that in the next episode again, as each episode pretty much is a rehash of the ending moments of the last one, and so we'll probably see that again. But still, really nice geek out moment there for me, and probably one of the best moments of this episode here. And so for disappointing battle with only very few moments that were really of highlights, I'm going to give this episode a 2 out of 5. Again, very disappointing, very much a letdown in terms of what was happening in the manga. Again, very few changes here and there, but there were changes to say the least for the most part, I would say. And so definitely curious to see how the episode is going to end, at least how the battle and the whole season is going to end. Presumably it's going to be a 5th season, depending on when the manga is coming out of hiatus. Well, not really out of hiatus, but they're just taking a break right now, to my knowledge at least. But definitely curious to see how they end it as Illya and the others can't escape from Julian's grasp at him trying to save the world, as he does say. And so very interested to see how this will conclude in the next episode. So put down your thoughts, fans, in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to rate, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching episode recap for episode 11 of Fate Catalina Prisma Illya 3. The episode is You Are Not Alone. Hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.